Because this is really a mind game. Make no mistake about it, it is. Nobody's ever seen the mind, so we let that image right there represent the mind. That circle with the horizontal line, separating the top from the bottom. And then if we put a body on this and bring it down and do some work with it, we'll start to maybe grasp how we can benefit from being here. The top half is called the conscious mind, the bottom half is the subconscious, and the small circle is called the body. Now, some of you said, Bob, you went through this in the last seminar. I go through this in every seminar. I've been going through this for years, and I'm going to tell you what it's enabled me to do. It's enabled me to walk up to a person, and without ever talking to them, I'll have a line go right across the center of their head, and I can tell you all kinds of things about them. There isn't a person here that I couldn't walk up to, and I know exactly what they're like. What is it? Craig? I'd never want to try and get Craig to do something he doesn't want to do. How many know Craig? You know Craig? This guy's got a stubborn streak in him about as wide as this room. He calls it persistence. But he's mentally a tough guy. If you're going to sell him something, get him to think it's his idea. Don't rush. Try and close him fast, you've lost it. That's pretty accurate, isn't it, so far? If I took him out to eat, I'd let him get his teeth into something substantial. Not necessarily a lot, but he likes some solid food. See, you throw me a grilled cheese sandwich, and I'll keep going for another 2 or 3 hours. That's not going to cut it with Craig. Now, I've got an idea he doesn't do manual labor, but when he's got some spare time, he likes knocking fences down or digging a ditch or something because he does that for just recreation. Is that accurate? Yeah. And I never wondered whether you could afford it. You always got a couple of bucks stuck away for a rainy day. So if you tell me you couldn't afford it, you're not telling me the truth. What you're really saying is you haven't sold me yet. It's fairly accurate, isn't it? Yeah. You want me to keep going? Tell these people, and then they all know what you're like. How do you do that? I've gone through that drawing so often. I've gone through it so often. You get to know what people are like. You get to know exactly what they're like. And then when you're dealing with them, you'll have that imaginary line right across the center of their head. And when you start talking to them, it's the top half of your head that you're dealing with at the beginning. You've got to get them thinking along a certain line. You've got to get them to stop thinking and open their mind so you can go into the subconscious mind. If you ever hope to get a person to take one of these things and put it on a predetermined dotted line, you better know what the hell you're doing. Otherwise, you're just shooting in the dark. It doesn't work. If you want their body to do something, you've got to get them emotionally involved with the idea. And if they don't get emotionally involved, you're never going to get them to do it. Now, the more I study this, every day I go through this. In seminars, I do it. I'm sitting in my office going through it. Because you see, that could be me, and they are my results. That's me, and they're my results. That can be you, and they can be your results. That being the case, this is where you want to go. That's where you were, Keith, when you wanted that boat. My God, the boat is up there. I'm down here. The boat's way up there. There's a big gap between where I am and where I want to be. He told us an interesting story. There was a boat that was being made in South Africa. It was in South Africa, wasn't it? And that's the boat he wanted. And he was either going to have to wait a year or something for a boat for them to build it, or they said there's one being built and it's going to be on its way here, but you'll have to take it in 90 days. That meant he had to come up with $1 million in 90 days. He thought, how in the hell am I going to do that? But you know something? He really wanted that boat. So what did he have to do? He had to get involved in a mind game. And because you had sat in these seminars and you had studied this and studied and studied it, you knew that it was a matter of a decision. You didn't have to know how you were going to get the million. You just had to know you were going to get the million. Now, I'm not talking to school. He told that to everybody in the last seminar. But I got a picture of him sailing that boat out of Florida. I got a video of it. Man, that's a wide boat, isn't it? It's like a football field. It's so wide. You see, if you decide you're going for the star, the second you make the decision, you flip your brain onto a different frequency, and the thoughts and things that you need are going to start coming to you. Now, you could be sitting at home or sitting in your office. It doesn't make any difference. You're getting the same information as the people that are sitting right here. Just open your mind and let this in. It's a mind game. The science of getting rich is going to help you. As we start going through this exercise book, turn over right now